So today I'm going to dive in and we're going to talk about gut function. I'm going to keep this short and sweet, my top 10 hacks for improving your gut function. So some really good takeaways today. I will be sure to put some recommendations in addition to these for the top 10 in my show notes as well as on the blog at ericazeal.com, so you guys can find all of that there. So let's start with number 1, and that is hydration. Hydration is so extremely important for optimal gut function because if we're dehydrated, well, our gut doesn't have enough hydration to keep things moving and flowing. Not to mention that, well, our body is made up of a lot of water, so our cells need to be hydrated. Diving into number 2 is enjoying a green juice now and again, or you can do them daily. My best advice on that is you can't just go to the store and buy the first green drink that you see because a lot of them are just packed with sugar, as in lots of fruit sugar. It's still sugar. Sugar is sugar. Might be a healthier version of other forms of sugar, fine. But always turn it over, look at the label. My best advice is always looking at it and saying, okay, how much is in this like 16-ounce bottle typically, right? And if it's like less, or if it's more than 80-ish calories, that's just a good indication that, hey, there's too much fruit sugar in this. We don't need that as a green juice. I like the green juices because they're really good for hydrating and getting some good nourishment very easily. But we've got to really watch the sugars in them because the juices and the smoothies can be just packed with lots of fruit. And I don't know about you, but for me, I would rather eat that as actually eating real fruit and things like that and not just drinking it in a juice. So, because if you eat the fruit, you're getting fiber with that. Number 3 is eating lots of vegetables and good quality fruits, berries. Just don't overdo the fruit, right? It's all about keeping balance, but there's so much good nutrition in fruit. So again, there's that balance in there. Eating vegetables, obviously really good from a nourishment standpoint, from keeping our gut moving because of the fiber, which takes us into number 4. Okay, so vegetables, obviously very important, but I want you to tune into your body. Are you eating the right kinds of fiber for your body? Are you feeling bloated often after you eat certain kinds of vegetables? And I've helped so many people with this, so just start being aware of, oh, when I eat these foods, I feel bloated right away, which if you're feeling it right away, that means it's in your stomach. Maybe you're lacking some enzymes in our stomach. We could add some papaya enzyme, which can help to break down the foods in your stomach. So what I recommend is if you feel bloated a lot by eating certain vegetables, typically it's the higher fiber ones like broccolis, things like that are more fibrous, and you can still get fiber from fruit, and avocados are a really good place to get fiber from. There's a lot of fiber in avocado, but the thing with like avocados, taking us into number 5, is eating lots of good fats, because the fats, you guys, I believe the fats are more important for keeping things moving in your gut than adding fiber. Okay, if you feel like you're working really hard to add fiber in your diet, just take a step back and relook at, am I getting enough fats? And start eating more fats. Good fats. Eat avocado. Like avocados, especially when they're in season right now, eat lots of avocados. Yes, they've got good quality fiber as well as a lot of good fat for you. And that fat can help keep things moving and flowing in our intestines because that is so important for many reasons. We don't want to eat and have stuff sitting in our gut for several days, a week or more. Like if you're not going poo once a day, you guys, or preferably 2 times a day, that means something needs to be looked at with your gut. And I'm not saying like actually looked at, but you just turning awareness into your body and saying, okay, yeah, I'm feeling bloated, I've been backed up, I don't go poo every day. So that's something to like start implementing some of these things that I'm sharing with you today because they can really help enhance how your gut feels. And you guys, there is such a connection in how our gut functions and how our brain functions. So if you are feeling brain foggy or sluggish energy, things like that, just by improving our gut function, we can help to improve our brain function. Not to mention, obviously, all the other benefits of improving the amount of nutrition that our intestines actually can absorb. Okay, so we want to keep things flowing. The next one is prebiotics. So you guys, prebiotics help to fuel the good bacteria in our gut, and that's super important. So vegetables like root vegetables, sweet potatoes are really good, and even apples have prebiotics. A lot of vegetables and fruits even have prebiotics, but I know sweet potatoes are a big staple in my diet. Don't be afraid of, oh, there's too many carbs in sweet potatoes, all that. Guys, we need carbs to function, right? It fuels our brain as well. Fat and carbs, but get your carbohydrates from good food, not from grains and gluten and all of that stuff, because all of those can lead to inflammation. Probiotics. Probiotics are, again, a good thing to add into your diet. We can get them from drinking kombucha, fermented foods. You can buy a probiotic. I will put my recommendation as well down for you, because adding that probiotic can just add even more good bacteria to your gut. So if we've got good prebiotics, that we're eating some prebiotic food every day with taking a probiotic every day, maybe every couple days, kind of depends on how things are going. If you're really backed up in your intestines, in your gut, then we got to get things moving. And it could take a bit to get things moving. And once you start getting a good rhythm going, you should be going poo about the same time every day. It'll kick your body into this system, and if not, twice. So I know, talking about poo, it's fun. But once you have babies, you can talk about poo, because that's what you do, right? Okay, where are we at? Number eight. Movement. Movement is also really good for your intestines. So the more sedentary we are, the more we sit, the more likely that we could be a little bit, constipated and things like that. So getting out and moving, and when we walk, you guys, running, whatever it is, remember that you're spiraling through your body. Remember to lift and lengthen tall, right? So I talk about movement a lot. I'm not going to get into it today, but lengthening and moving through your body to, you are activating the fascia in the visceral. Yes, I mentioned it again, even in talking about gut, because there's so much fascia in and around our gut. That's called the visceral fascia. But when we get that moving and stimulating, that can also help to stimulate the intestines to function better. Number 9, de-stress. Guys, stress can really affect our gut as well. I know for some people, it can actually make things flow more, maybe on the looser side of things, and for others it can make them more constipated. So just paying attention to how your stress is, because we feel it in our body, in the tissue, in our organs, in our gut. Super, super important. So adding a little bit of meditation, taking some deep breaths throughout your day, getting some movement, getting outside, some fresh air, going walking in nature, things like that, whatever it is for you that helps you just keep your stress a little bit more moderate, right? A little stress can be okay for the body, but a lot is not. We do not want to stay in that fight or flight all the time, because that really, really affects so much in your body, but specifically talking about gut today, it can affect your gut as well. And the very last one I want to finish with is intermittent fasting. So we'll talk all about this more down the road, but intermittent fasting is when you do not eat for 16 hours, and you can do that once, twice a week. I know some people that say they do it every day. I think that's something you would need to work up to. So some people might think, oh, that could lead to weight gain because I'm not eating enough. But actually, you guys, it's important to also let our gut relax sometimes, because when we exercise a lot, we eat a lot, that's a stress cycle. I talk about it from time to time. So we get our gut in this kind of stress state. It's always working, always working, always working. When we do that intermittent fasting, it actually lets everything just relax. And I believe it has a little bit to do with the stress as well. So letting things just relax, let it kind of empty out what it's got, and then we eat again. Now, maybe the first couple times you try it, you can't make it 16 hours. That's okay. I also, side note, do know that if you have extreme adrenal issues, I do not recommend intermittent fasting. So that's something run by your physician for sure. But I want to put it out there because those of you that feel like you've been wanting to try it, listen to your body. Always, always, always listen to your body. It may not be the first thing that I recommend in this list of 10, but it's something that if you've been thinking about it, you're feeling pretty good, maybe give it a shot once. And again, don't feel bad or anything if you don't make it 16 hours. Maybe you go a full 10 hours the first time, maybe you go 12 and then you work up to it. And then maybe you find like, oh my gosh, it really does help your energy. So anyway, just a little tip, and I can't wait to see you guys all back next time.